Do you want to learn how to become a real estate photographer? Check out my course, How to Become a Real Estate Photographer, at rickmcavoyphotography.com. Ever wondered what gear you need beyond your camera? The answer isn't necessarily a new lens, although that would be nice, wouldn't it? Or a bigger flash. No, it's a few simple, affordable accessories that can make a huge difference. They protect your gear, make shooting easier, and help you get better photos. What is not to love, eh? Today, we're diving deep into the 10 must-have items that professional photographers can't live without, me included, showing you how to get the most out of your camera without spending a fortune. Yep, simple but effective and important bits of kit these are. An essential accessory isn't a luxury, it's a problem solver. These are simple tools that improve your workflow and protect your gear. The golden rule of buying gear is to use what you have, but these accessories are the exception. They are small investments that offer massive returns in the quality of your work and indeed your peace of mind. Your primary goal should be to build a core kit of these items, as they are the foundation for any serious photographer. Now, there is a caveat to this which I'll come on to, but this is what I live by. Only buy new gear if it will help you to do something you can't do now, or it helps you look after things or provide a backup in case something goes wrong. Hello and welcome to episode 216, blimey, of the Photography Explained podcast. I don't know why the episode number's always a surprise to me, but it is. And the title of this episode, Essential Accessories for Every Photographer, open brackets, without breaking the bank, close brackets. How utterly marvellous. A very good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening to you, wherever you are in the world and whenever in your day you're listening to me. I'm your host, Rick. Hi. And in each episode, I try to explain one photographic thing to you in plain English in less than 27 minutes-ish without the irrelevant details. Yes, really. I'm a professionally qualified photographer based in England with a lifetime of photographic experience, which I share with you in my splendid podcast. Today, we're looking at the small stuff, the things that make a big difference for very little money. This is about practical ways to get the best results from your camera. And if you're still getting to grips with your camera's main settings, why not go back and listen to episode 211, Master Your Camera Modes, a simple guide to auto, aperture, shutter and manual settings. How utterly splendid, let us get into this. So here are 10 top tips for getting essential gear that works for you. These tips will simplify how you think about accessories, and they will help you achieve fantastic results without breaking the bank. Number 1, a good camera bag. You've got your camera, you've got your lens. Now you need to protect them. A good camera bag isn't about style, it's about function. It needs to keep your gear safe from bumps and knocks, and it should be comfortable to carry, and it should be easy to get stuff into your bag and out of it again and back in. That was attempt number 3 at wording that very simple sentence. I know it's a worry, isn't it? Now, you can get a decent camera bag for well under £100 these days here. And here's a top tip from me. Yep, my top tip here is to get a camera bag that looks as unlike a camera bag as is possible. You don't want to draw attention to your expensive gear, do you? And these days, you can get super clever pouches and the like that you can put in a normal, non-camera bag, which is what I do sometimes. Not all the time, granted, because I like my core gear with me. And there'll be a couple of points on core gear, which I will come back to if I remember when I get to the end. Okay, number 2, lens cleaning solution, disposable cloths and blower brush. Yes, I know, that's 3 things in one, but this is pretty much my camera cleaning kit. These are an absolute must-have. You'll use these more than any other accessory. Well, you should do. The blower brush blows away dust and other bad stuff. And put a couple of drops of the lens cleaning solution on the disposable cloth and you can clean those ever so important front and rear lens elements. And then you can do your viewfinder, you can do your LCD screen. Then you can clean your glasses, your watch, anything. Now, I only use disposable cloths these days, and I'm happy to pay a bit more to keep my precious lens elements clean safely. And I'm happy to pay a bit more to safely keep my precious lens elements clean. And as I say, I've been known to use the same cloth to clean other things, but after cleaning the front and rear lens elements, not before. This is probably the cheapest, most useful and even most important set of things you can buy. Now, I've had my Canon 6D for over 10 years. I've had my go-to Canon 17 to 40mm lens for more than 10 years. And I look after them very, very carefully. And these are the 3 things I use to keep them clean. And that combo has been working faithfully with me for over a decade, so these things do work. And you don't need anything else. All you need is those 3 things. That is all I have. Move on, Rick. Number 3, an extra battery, or 3. Okay, so you're out shooting and you're having a great time, and then your camera dies. Nightmare. This is easily avoided. Always, and I mean always, have a spare battery. And that's a fully charged spare battery. Now, you can get third-party ones for a fraction of the cost of the manufacturer's versions. Although, if you're going to do this, make sure they're from a reputable supplier. Don't risk cheap batteries from unknown brands, because the worst thing that could happen is that something bad happens and it burns your camera out or stuff leaks out of it. We don't want that. No, don't risk it. And if you're not sure, buy the batteries made by your camera manufacturer. I know they're not cheap, but if you look after them, they'll look after you for many, many years. I've got 4 camera batteries, and the newest one is at least a decade old. So yes, they cost me money, but they serve me well. And here's another thing. I've got 4 camera batteries, and what I do is I rotate them round, so I'm always using a different battery. I've numbered them 1 to 4. And I work through the sequence so they all get equal use and there isn't one sat there for 5 years never being used. That's how I look after my batteries. That's how I make sure they work for me. So that's another tip from me, and no, that's not on my script. Number 4, a spare memory card or 2. Just like with batteries, you never know when a memory card might fail or get full. It's a horrible feeling to be in a once-in-a-lifetime event and realise you got no space left on your memory card. I mean, memory cards, they're so cheap now, there really is no excuse. Keep them to hand in good quality cases or containers and keep them safe. And keep one in your camera, of course. Or do what I do and keep 8 in a hard, waterproof, shockproof case. Yes, really. Now, I might do an episode on how to look after memory cards, because it is quite an important thing. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that. Yeah, that's a good idea, that. It's a very specific thing, and it might be a short episode, but it's a very good point, so leave that thought with me. Number 5, a small tripod. Rick, a tripod isn't cheap, I hear you say. Well, not necessarily. You can get small, lightweight tripods that are perfect for a smaller camera or a mobile phone. And when I say a smaller camera, I'm talking about my Canon 6D with my Canon 17 to 40mm lens on, or the 24 to 105 or the 70 to 200. I have successfully used a little thing called a Manfrotto Pixie that cost about 30 quid. No, I'm not being paid to tell you this. I paid for it with my own money. In fact, I've had more than one of these. Dead simple, dead small, camera on the floor, works a treat. I've taken loads of photos with them and they work a treat, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on a tripod. But if you can afford it, invest in a full-size tripod. Use a tripod and you should take better photos. That's what I do. I use a tripod. And to prove the point, check out these episodes where I talk about tripods, and they are episode 95. What are the advantages of using a tripod? Here are 5 from me. Episode 96. Do you want to know how to take photos on a tripod? And episode 97, Tripods Explained. What actually is a tripod anyway? Yes, that's how significant a tripod is to me. I've done 3 episodes all about them of my splendid podcast. Move on, Rick. 6, a polarising filter. What's the polarising filter? Well, it's like sunglasses for your camera. You screw it onto the front of your lens, it reduces glare and reflections, especially on glass and water and shiny metal, and it makes the colours in your landscape shots really pop, especially the blue in the sky. It's a small accessory that makes a huge difference. So check out episode 208, Polarising Filters. What are they? What do they do? Do I need one? For lots more. I don't need to repeat myself here, do I? No, you don't, Rick. Number 7, a neutral density filter. These can be expensive, but you can find affordable options. You've got to be careful about the quality. A neutral density filter, or ND filter for short, it's a piece of dark glass that reduces the amount of light hitting your camera sensor. Well, it's not a piece of dark glass. It's a manufactured piece of glass with a ring round it and everything. That also screws into your front lens element, or you can get ones that go into filter holders. Not one for now. And what does this do? Well, it allows you to use a slower shutter speed in bright conditions to create cool effects like silky smooth water, blurred clouds, dreamy wispy waterfalls. Anything moving, you can make it look amazing. Check out episode 207. Yep, already covered this one. Neutral density filters. What are they? Do I need one? Yes, I stole the title from the polarizing filters one, obviously. Oh no, they were the other way around. Ignore that. Shut up, Rick. Number 8, a remote shutter release. This is a simple accessory that has a big impact, especially when you're taking photos with a tripod. A remote shutter release allows you to take a photo without touching the camera, which eliminates camera shake. This gives you tack-sharp photos, especially for things like night photography or long exposures. You can get a simple wired one for very little money. Not sure how that works with a brand new camera, but certainly with older ones you can do. I used to have one. But these days you're probably going to use an app on your phone, aren't you? But for someone like me, I would rather use a remote release because I don't want to faff around with my phone. This is obviously up to you, dear listener, whatever your preference is. But the key thing here is, when you're taking a photo with your camera on a tripod, don't touch the camera. Now, you could also use the self-timer, but that blows away number 8, doesn't it? So I won't say that. Number 9, grey card. Well, what's a grey card? It's a card that's grey. Or is it? No, it's not. My grey card is some grey material in a circular holder that folds up to about a quarter of its full size. And what do I use this for? I use this card for white balance. Nice and simple. Pop the grey card in a photo, and then when you're processing the photo, click on the grey card with the white balance eyedropper tool thingy, and voila, custom white balance done. This works a treat most of the time, only struggling in complex or mixed lighting. And you can get cards that are grey, just make sure they're the right shade of grey. Just saying. I think the term comes from the days before anything fancy where photographers used to have cards that were grey, hence the term grey card. Blimey, a photography tone that makes sense. We should have it framed. Number 10, finally, a simple reflector. This is a game changer for portrait and product photography, and for lots of other things when you start thinking about it. A reflector is a simple collapsible disc that bounces light back onto your subject. It's perfect for filling in shadows and giving your photos a more professional, polished look. You can get a cheap one with different sides like silver, gold and white for all sorts of lighting conditions. And these really can make a massive, massive difference. They can transform photos. I really strongly recommend getting a reflector. If you take photos of people, you can make a massive difference to photos, and they're not expensive, so give them a go. I don't take photos of people often, so I do. I've got a load of reflectors. I just don't use them that much because you'd need a big reflector for a building, wouldn't it? Or for a photo of a mountain. Just saying. Right, there you have it. Sorry about that. 10 essential accessories you can get without spending a fortune. These are the tools that will help you solve problems and give you more creative options. And here's the thing that's not in the script that I forgot earlier on, which has thankfully come back into my head. You buy these 10 things, and it doesn't matter which camera and lens you're using. You can use them with anything. So that's why the stuff I've got is years and years old, because it works whatever camera I'm using. So even more value. What is not to love? Right, I'm going to move on now because I'm beginning to waffle, aren't I? Here is something for you to do. Pick the one thing you think will help you the most. Sort out some cash. Then go and speak to some lovely people in a camera shop and buy that one thing. Then use it and let me know how you get on. Yes, people, we need to go to camera shops and buy stuff, not get everything online. All camera shops will cease to exist. I need to do that myself, having said that. Right, what if I use a phone to take my photos? Well, some of these are available for your phone. You can get small tripods, you can get clip-on polarizing and ND filters, never tried them myself, and even remote shutter releases, although your phone's probably more likely to be used as the remote shutter release. But the principles are the same whether you're using a phone or a big camera, apparently. And let's not forget, the best camera is the one you have with you after all. What do I do? Well, these 10 things go with me whenever I'm out taking photos. And this is pretty much my gear, not including my camera body and lenses, of course. I really don't have much other gear these days. This is all I want, this is all that I need. Yep, 10 simple, affordable things that help me to get the photos I need. And that's that. Okay, final takeaways. Let's recap the essentials for getting the right accessories. Essential accessories improve your photos and solve problems without needing to buy expensive cameras or lenses. The most useful things like lens cloths and blower brushes and lens cleaning solutions are also the cheapest, and they work with every bit of gear you've got. Extra batteries and memory cards, they are non-negotiable insurance to ensure you never miss a shot. A small tripod and a remote shutter release, they're keys to taking great sharp photos in low light without getting blurry results. And with a big tripod, of course. And a grey card is the single most effective tool to help elevate your picture-taking capabilities. No, it's not, it's the reflector. A grey card is an essential tool if you want to get your white balance right. A reflector can transform any photos you take with people in. It can transform them massively. You can take a photograph of someone and they can hold the reflector. You can tell them to get it at the right angle and they can bounce this light up on the face, and it's amazing. The more I think about it, the more significant it is. So there you go. One more thing. A good accessory should always solve a problem you have. Don't buy something just because it looks cool. And another thing, the best accessory you have, it's your mind. Think about the shot before you take it. Blimey, I was in danger of getting deep there, wasn't I? And I want to say one more thing about camera bags, sorry. I don't give a stuff what my camera bag looks like. I genuinely don't care. What I care about is that it protects my gear and that I can get stuff in and out of it easily and that everything is accessible. Don't care what it looks like, don't give a stuff. And if it doesn't look like a camera bag, even better. Right, some thoughts from the last episode. Well, episode 215 was ISO Explained, the simple guide to better photos in any light. And it was all about mastering ISO to get the best quality photos. So, have you had a play? Have you taken a photograph with an ISO of 64,000? Let me know if you have, it'd be lovely to hear from you. And let's not forget, keep your ISO as low as possible for the best quality, always. Right, next episode. Well, episode 217, The Art of Light from Harsh to Heavenly. Yes, really. Photography is drawing with light, so I need to talk about light again. Yep, covered it before, but can't talk about it too much. Okay, this is the bit I've redone as it was getting far too long. Get in touch and subscribe. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future ones. And for anything else, check out my website, rickmcavoyphotography.com. That's my shiny new website, improving week on week as I do lots of work on it, where you can find out how to ask a question, get a weekly email from me, get in touch, or find out more about my splendid podcast and everything else that I do. And you can text me from the podcast feed. How brilliant is that? And I have a YouTube channel. Just type Rick McAvoy into YouTube and you'll find me. And finally, check out my courses page where you'll find my splendid How to Become a Real Estate Photographer course. Right, this episode was brought to you by a cheese and pickle sandwich and a Coke Zero, for a change, which I consumed before settling into my homemade acoustical cushion recording emporium. I've been Rick McAvoy. Thanks again very much for listening to my small but perfectly formed podcast, it says here. And for giving me 27-ish minutes of your valuable time. Now, I reckon this episode will be about 18-19 minutes long after I've edited out the mistakes and the other bad stuff. We'll find out. Thanks for listening. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick. How to become a real estate photographer. rickmcavoyphotography.com/courses.